Alright, hello everybody. We are live once again here to do some Kerbal Space Program, as always. And, well, today we have some much bigger plans. We've got our eyes set. You know, we've already done, for the recap of the last stream, we did a Mun mission. We built and flew to the Mun. Got a bunch of science, came back, we got like nuclear engines and more science and stuff like that. I think we also built a plane. And now we've done everything that we can in the Kerbal system. So we're setting our sights higher. We're going to go interplanetary. And our mission, as the title suggests, is Duna. We are going to go to Duna. And probably Ike as well, which is Duna's moon, for those who don't know. And for those who don't know what Duna is basically Mars. But yeah. So, just checking something here real quick. Let's get going. All right. It's time to really put the Planetary into our planetary quest. Hopefully, by the end of today, we'll have 2 more flags planted. And if we can't finish or even start the mission, that'll be the job for the next stream that we do. But we're just going to hop straight into this. Again, I've already got my handy-dandy Delta V map up. But just name this Duna Ike mission. Alright, so we're going to try and go a little more snappy now that you guys have gotten the feel of some of the missions that I make. So we're going to quickly lay out what we're going to do. So we're going to make this as more of an Apollo-style mission. And what I mean by that is we're going to have a, instead of like the past 2 missions where the whole thing goes down to the surface and then comes back home, we're going to bring the ship into orbit of Duna, and then only a lander and a few Kerbals are going to go down to the surface, do their science, do stuff, they'll come back up, dock with the ship, and then we'll leave the lander behind. And that'll give us like a bunch of extra fuel, and so there's some other options. We can kind of optimize our engines and performance a bit better with that. And this time we're going to step up once more, and we're going to bring 3 Kerbals. So we're going to need to use the Mark 1-3 command pod, or the Apollo-style command pod. And we're going to start by building our... I guess we'll start by fleshing out the pod a bit more, but we're going to build our... what do you call it? The interplanetary stage. So that's going to be this capsule and propulsion and systems and whatnot. So let's get heat shield on here. Heat shield. We'll do chutes as well. I know we're gonna need bigger chutes for this fella. It's kind of annoying. Can't really put him there. There. I don't know, how many chutes do we want to put that? What are we gonna put here? I mean, this is gonna end up being like a docking port, right? Actually, you know what? This is probably gonna be easier if we build our what do you call it? It's probably gonna be easier if we build the what do you the lander. There you go. The lander first. So I'm just gonna do and we'll merge this in later. So how many Kerbals do we want to take to the surface? I am thinking we definitely, obviously, we want one because we got to plant the flag. We need a scientist. I'm thinking we could either do one with just a scientist, or we could do two, and we could bring down a scientist and a pilot, and the pilot could work on doing all the rendezvous stuff and maneuvers. I think that's probably going to be really useful. Actually, I think that's what we're going to do. So let's see. This is our two-person, lander can here. We've also got the Mark 1, which is this little guy here. I do want to use this. I don't want to have just skipped over it. We will use it for a mission at some point. Okay. Yeah, we'll use this. So we do have a 2.5 meter service bay. So I want to put everything that's not gonna fit perfectly in line. So we're gonna put our science in here. Do we fit a science junior in there? We do. That will do. So I'm just thinking we're gonna load this up on. We'll put all of our science stuff in here. This thing's definitely gonna need some fuel. Oh, do we have? Just making sure we have RCS thrusters. All right. It's gonna need some monopropellant for the RCS thrusters. It's gonna need power and panels and actually solar panels probably will not be in there. Actually, I'm gonna put the solar panels. Does this have? It does have doors. Ah, look at that. That is convenient. Well, in that case, should we put science in there? Obviously, science junior should still have to just be down there, but I think we should load this up with some electronics. We'll put batteries. In there. Okay. And I think... I mean, I don't know. What else should we put in there? We could just do all our power stuff there. We're not going to need radiators or anything. Monopropellant. Find what we have for monopropellant. Should be. Alright. Panels. Oh, that looks a little bit silly. Actually, what if we did the same thing that we did with the batteries and put two sets of panels in here? There. And then put it right over the batteries. Yeah, that'll do. Alright, retract the solar panels. So the things have to extend convene here, which also, I think we should put antennas in here. So this antenna is a relay. I don't think we're gonna want the little communitrons. What about you? How big are you guys? Pretty big here. So I don't really know too much about how the antennas work. But 15 Gs, I'm gonna compare it to these. 500K. So I'm guessing that's gonna be like 30 times as powerful. So only one of these should actually be fine, but how many are you? 15 Gs as well. How do you unfurl just straight open, right? I think we will put one of these on. I think, but we'll do that in a minute. Alright. I guess we'll start loading up our science in here. We got tons of science. I think we'll be able to use... So all of our science will be on this, right? And I think we'll be able to use all of it. Right? I don't know. We'll find out. Always the way you want to play it with the mission this big. I'm going to put that there and put this one on this side, just because they're both equally as big. Alright, and we're going to want to put our small guys in. And there's 4 of them. The thermometer and the barometer on this side. And then we'll do the seismic accelerometer. Actually, you know what? We do have to have the magnetometer able to reach out. That's okay. So we won't actually be able to, we won't use that anywhere in, once we're on Duna, but in space that'll be useful. Check our gravioli, our seismic accelerometer. And then, so let's see, we have these two. Have him, you. Looks like we have everything. Do we want to do a scanning arm? We'd have to bring like a rover. I don't think I want to bring a rover. Actually, I'm gonna move this to the other side because I think that'll balance the weight a tad better. You can still extend fine, right? Yes. Cool. Alright. That's all of our science and our power. Communications we'll do in a minute, we said. Alright, so we need to put RCS fuel into this fella. 40 monopropellant. We'll put 4 of these guys in. Put them up towards the top. I mean, I don't know, so... We're also gonna have to put thrusters on, but we're gonna have to wait till this is all finished. So do we want this, because we're going to Duna and Ike, so this needs to be able to do both of them. So, I mean, let's see. So, the interplanetary stage is what's going to do anything in space in terms of transit. So this will do all the landing stuff. Hello, France Country Ball. How's it going? We are building our lander for Duna, and Ike, and well, just struggling through, kind of thinking out the design here. Let's see. So what does it need to land on Duna? Go from orbit to land it. So we can do that with parachutes. That's another thing that I want to put on here. We don't need a ton. Put 2 there, and we'll put 2 drogue chutes here. I think that'll work, right? We'll do the drogues and then the parachutes, and then obviously if that's coming down too fast, we can fire the engine a little bit. Speaking of which, I was thinking we do something like this. I want to find what the most efficient landing engine we have is. Just real quick, where's the poodle? Probably gone over it a bunch of times, and there it is. So how much drogue shoot? Okay, how much TWR does that give us? 0.47. Oh wait, we need to be on Duna. 5.83. So that's comfortable to land. So how much thrust does that give us? At sea level. I don't know. Well, how much is the 237? So it's closer to vacuum. So 250 is enough. So let's look at some of our other engines, our other options here. The Cheetah is 3. Okay, so this is 350. The Cheetah is 355. Trader is 345. So the Cheetah's so far our best. Spark is pretty awful. 330 on the Pug. Add 4 boosters on the side to slow down better. That's not a terrible idea. We'll definitely have to do some staging because we're bringing one. We're gonna try and bring this one lander to Duna and Ike. So we're gonna have to stage some stuff away. There's no way we're gonna be able to do single stage for 2 landings, like reasonably. I'm gonna go with the poodle, I think. Very nice shroud. I like that these are shorter. Oh well. Hello, Daryl. How's it going? Alright. Let's bring this down here. So how much? 2,800. That's a lot of delta V. 2,800 meters a second. So let me pull up my delta V map here. 2,800 meters a second. And this needs to get us. So from landed to circularized is about 1,500 meters a second. I'm gonna add. We'll say it's like 1,700, I guess. To add a little bit. You know, for like fighting the atmosphere, I guess. So it's 1,700. And then that'll be able to 1,700 meters a second. Actually, you know what? Let's put those side boosters on. Should we do boosters or just fuel tanks that drop off? I don't know if we're gonna need the extra engines. I guess it depends on how heavy this ends up being. How big we want to do these? Is that too big in diameter? It's a little bit chunky. Let's try it out with these fellas. It's like, I'm gonna go with one more, I think. And then I think we'll just cap it off. Oops. I think that should work, right? So let's see, we'll fire up the engine, and we'll stage these off. And we should make sure to pipe these in, right? Okay. Dang it. Put it like there. So we have 589 meters a second. It is a little bit more. I do want to put these on like the angle here. I should bring you down. I think I should bring you down. I think I should also mount the landing legs on this because Ike's gravity is really low. And I don't think we're going to need legs for Ike, and that's just extra mass. We definitely want legs for Duna, but Ike is low gravity enough that I don't think it matters. I think that's good. There. Oops, that's a little bit too tight. It's better. Alright. Let's put legs on here too, just to get that into the calculation. So do we want the LT1s or the LT2s? Hello, Katie. How's it going? Wait, do we have the LT? Oh, we don't have. Okay, so we're rocking with these ones, I guess. Retractors are extended. That looks good, right? I think that'll work. Okay, so let's see how this works out. So, our first bit of delta V is going to be spent to deorbit to land on Duna, and I'm going to budget like 100 meters a second for that. Right? Orbital velocity is... Actually, I don't know. What is... Here, I want to look it up. Duna orbital velocity. What is it? That is not what I meant. Oh, is it this one? Duna, about 900 meters a second. No, that's not bad. So 900 meters a second. So 100 meters a second should be fine. We'll do 150. So, and then to get back off the ground, we'll budget like 250. Why not? So get back off of the ground, we're going to want that 1450, so that's 1650, 1700. We'll bring that up to like 1800 because this isn't the most aerodynamic. Actually, should we put something on top here? Or no? Because that's going up through... I mean, it's really thin atmosphere, so I don't know if we should bother... Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna. Hello, Amogus. How's it going? Okay. So we have... What we say it was gonna be 1700, 1800 between landing and getting back into orbit. So that's all we all have to worry about. We don't have to worry about getting between Duna and Ike. That'll be for the other craft. Alright. So what we said, 1800. It's down to like what, like 1300 from this one, and then subtract 1300 from this guy. Actually, that's exactly enough to add up to. It's 1200, I guess, with that little extra bit. So 1200. We'll subtract that from here, which makes that what? 1600? I think that makes that 1600. And then to land on Ike, Go from orbit to land is 390. We'll budget 500. Get back to orbit, another 500. It's 1,000. So this is actually enough to do both of them. I think that's good. Add 2 solar panels to generate electricity. They're tucked into the bay up here. Right there. So the little side doors on the lander will open up. And then inside of the service bay, we've got all of our science and monopropellant. We do have to add those docking thrusters. We won't need them for when it's like this. Do I have RCS build aid? I do. I'm just gonna add a 2 to that. So we have some more like accurate calculations. So actually, no. Ike Lander 2, delete. Duna Ike Lander. Alright, so we want to add some RCS thrusters. These are the big ones. Oh, they're all big ones. I think these ones should work. So let's see. Pull this up. Well, that is actually pretty much where it needs to be. Wow, that's surprising. Here. Translation, right, left. That's perfectly centered, apparently. And then attitude or roll that is roll, yeah. That doesn't look too bad. Select mode. Attitude, engines, translation. Cool. So that's our thrusters, I guess, and that doesn't really change our numbers like at all. So it's nothing to be concerned about. So this lander, actually we do need to add a docking port. That is probably important. The coupling, we either got the junior or the normal sized. Does it look terrible? It doesn't look too awful, but it looks kind of funky without an adapter. Do we have... No. Do we have the flat one that I'm thinking of? This is a flat one, but I thought there was another. Oh no, I think it is that one. No. Wait, that's not right. I swear there was a flat, like, adapter for these sizes. Oh yeah, there is, right here. See, look, it's a little bit more aerodynamic. And this doesn't need to be like an aerodynamic docking port or anything, I suppose. Although we don't actually have any, but... yeah. Put that there. We had like 200 meters a second of wiggle room, I think. So I think that's good. And we just make sure this has enough thrust to weight ratio on Duna, 4.5, that's plenty. Actually, this is sea level, so we should probably bump this up to vacuum. We get even more. Alright, so if we're comfortable at sea level, I think we're good to go. Same on Ike and Duna. Cool. Okay. Are we doing Apollo style? We are doing Apollo style, so the lander will decouple. Well, we're gonna make actually, I think we could do the mothership, or the interplanetary stage now. I suppose. What was it? Duna, Ike mission, this one. Alright. Let's work on that. So we know we need a docking port up top. We can get that done fairly easily. So docking port. We do want chutes. So let's make sure to do those, put those on the capsule as well. I want to like interrupt that. We could have the capsule come down on sort of like an angle. Like put them here. Like that, right? Yeah, I guess that wouldn't be terrible, right? We just kind of come down on like tilted forwards a little bit, I guess. And I say these guys are small enough to put up here, though. Cool. Docking for me is really hard. It is a difficult thing. I've only done it actually a couple times, so, you know, doing it very far away over Duna probably won't be the smartest call, but there are some ways to make it easier, but I guess it really comes down to practice. You practice more, you get better at it. Alright, so this will be our stage coming down, so we're bringing 3 Kerbals. Also, if we're bringing 3 Kerbals, who should we bring? Because we'll definitely need a pilot and a scientist, so we're definitely bringing Bob, either Jeb or Val. We don't really need an engineer, I feel like. Right, would we need an engineer for anything? I don't think we need an engineer. We need to repack the parachutes, and that's really all I can think it's useful for. We don't need to build anything in EVA. Well, it might be nice just to have one in case something goes wrong. Add the fire plate. We got a heat shield down here. Wait, since when did we have drills? Hold on, Interesting. I'm not going to bring those down with us, but just interesting to know that we have them. Alright, so this is what's coming down, like, back on Kerbin. So we're going to need something for, so like the interplanetary stage, I guess. So that's going to be fueled off of nuclear engines. Put a decoupler down here. It's tall. Can we make that shorter? I don't really want to mess with that, actually. Okay. Just curious, out of the 2 nuclear engines we have, because we have the Cherenkov as well, with the ReStock Plus mod. Let's bring Jeb again. I agree. I think, well, yeah, but Valentina hasn't gotten to fly at all yet, so I feel kind of bad because we have Jeb, Bill, and Bob. See, these 2 haven't flown, and these 2 have. Yeah, Jebediah launch, orbit, maneuver, moon encounter, landing moon, flag on moon, fly off moon, maneuver to Earth, deploy fuel, land on Earth. Yeah, he can do a lot. He's there for the maneuvers because we're probably not going to have communications. So as it's first the 2 going down to the surface gonna be, it'll be whoever we choose as a pilot and Bob, and then staying in orbit will be our 3rd Kerbal. So which will either be another pilot for making maneuvers, or Bill. I don't know. Should we bring? I mean, Bill or Valentina haven't been on any missions yet. So I don't really want to make Jeb sit this out. But I mean, we could do Valentina so we still have a pilot and Bill, and that way everyone will have been on a mission at some point, right? I think we could do that. Bill do the maneuvers. Alright, I think we'll bring... are we okay with Valentina over Jeb? Is that something we can vibe with? Just for this mission, I think after this we'll be able to have the facilities to bring all 4 Kerbals. Definitely want to bring as many as I can. Because after this we've got some serious choosing to do with, we have some more flexibility with missions. Alright, well let's get on with designing for now. So Sorry, I was checking the efficiency of the engines. So, ISP is 800 in vacuum, 820, so the Chernkov's actually a little bit better. But he's a big boy. Look at how big. We're not launching that. That's too big. We can do the nerve. Sure, she needs a chance. Alright, we'll bring Val. That's a big thruster, yeah. So from the ReStock Plus mod, which adds just a few small parts that are like missing size categories. Like there's the small nuclear engine. It adds the bigger one. Yeah, he's pretty chunky. It's too big for this though. However, since the nuclear engines do run off of just liquid fuel, we can. Do we have the liquid fuel tank? Yes. Yeah, we can do a whole lot more with them. Do we have an adapter? It's not the right size. We don't want the oxidizer in this guy though. I'm just gonna use the same one we use as on the lander, I think. The flatter one. This one. And we'll do that. Grab our engine. And then marine vacuum. 3130 meters a second, and then we can put a whole bunch more of the smaller guys on the sides to fill in that size gap. It looks so weird when you add it. Yeah, it's it has like a lot of like structural pieces almost. Like 90% of it isn't actually engine. Just separate the drogue chutes before I forget. We do all 8, right? Or should we just do 6? It's a lot of delta V. We did 8 though. Actually, I kind of like that. That's a lot of fuel, but I like having a lot of fuel. I'd rather be safe than sorry. I don't want to strand anyone. Haven't stranded any Kerbals yet, and I don't plan on today being the first time. How heavy are these? 001. Go from 6667. Oh, 40 meters a second. That's fine. Just to make it look a little nicer. What mods am I using? It's almost all graphic. So like Eve, environmental visual enhancements, TUFX, scatterer, parallax, stuff along those lines. The only one I think that adds parts is ReStock Plus, and then ReStock changes the textures of some of these as well. But I tried to play it really minimalistic, nothing that would really interfere with the main gameplay of this. And then I also have like Kerbal Engineer and MechJeb, or not MechJeb. Kerbal Engineer, Trajectory, stuff like that. I think Realistic Atmosphere. Yeah, I've heard of it, but I'm trying to keep it still feeling Kerbal. The whole goal of the series is because I've never really done some of these missions. I want to do them before KSP 2 comes out, which is in a matter of days. That's very, very soon. Okay, well, that looks like a lot of Delta V, but I suppose we should put the lander on here too. So let's set this to be the root part, because this is the part I want it to connect with. And we will drop it in there. Duna, Ike, lander. Cool. Open, don't have to save that. We will open the mission and put the lander on. Still a lot of Delta V. Look at that, 4967. How much thrust to weight ratio do we have? Really? 2.72? For a 38-ton rocket? This thing is chunky. Shouldn't the lander be at the bottom? We could. I don't know if I really want to reconfigure. Well, actually, I'll put it at the top for now, just so we can get the delta V calculations, because this will be how it's traveling to Duna, at least. Oh, it's because both of these engines are firing at once. Okay. So we want the nerve first. Wait. I'm a little confused here. Actually, the parachutes don't particularly matter. Actually, so we've got the drogue chutes here. So in this stage, we'll have all the chutes for the drogue chute. So we have the drogue chutes on the lander. Where are the parachutes on the lander? These guys. And then drogue chutes on the caps. Okay. So then, this is going to decouple. 2,900. Okay, that's a bit more reasonable. I recommend putting the parachute as 3.0 and 2,500. The Mars parachutes, the lander. So I haven't actually done a Duna. Well, sorry, not Mars, Duna. I did one Duna mission in sandbox mode, and I didn't use chutes. I used engine power completely. So I'm actually not. Minimum pressure is 3.0. Yeah, the pressure is definitely probably something. So we can't put it all the way up. Let's put it somewhere. I guess to play it safe. 0.3 and 1500. Is it the same on this side? Should be. 0.3 and 1500. You guys. Actually, no. I feel like this should be minimized. 0.4, and then I'll boost these guys up though to like 3,000. Okay. Let's nerve the poodle. Oh, I don't want disable crossfeed. Just for now. What decoupler is this? Oh. Enable staging. Okay, this should help with the calculations. We have 2,900 meters a second of delta V on this. So let's see here. So what does this have to do? This is gonna get us from low. Well, actually, we'll work backwards, I guess. So first off, we'll do the little Ike leg of the mission. So 360 to get to elliptical. So that's 400 to get an intercept with Ike, right? 400 to get an intercept with Ike. And then another 200 to circularize. So that's 600 to get to Ike. And then another, what? Like 250 to get back out. Right? So 650. And then to escape back home is another 400 or 500. So 500 plus the, what did we say? Did I say 650? I said 650. Plus the 650 is 400 plus 650. It's like we'll round that to 1,100, I guess. There's gonna be a lot of rounding up. Yes, very, very wobbly. We're gonna. It's 1,100 meters a second, and then. We've got to actually circularize. So that's another 400 to circularize. Like once we're we're just kind of jumping around a bit. 400 to circularize from the high orbit, and then 3, so 700 plus 150. That's like 850, 900. It's 1100. That's 1800 meters a second. Plus 950 to get to high ellipse. So yeah, that's enough. That's enough fuel. How much TWR do you have? 0.53. That's more like it. I am just curious though. I do kind of want to throw just a little bit more on, just so that way like it covers up that kind of not so pretty part of the engine. Look at that. It's ton of delta V. Plenty to do some work with. Hello again, Katie. How's it going? Okay. This is what we're going to Mars in. It looks a little bit, actually, I kind of like the way it looks. It looks a little silly, but at the same time it looks kind of cool. Actually, wait, before I make this mistake, because everything on the lander is for the lander, we want this to have some of its own stuff. I'll put it on the decoupler, I guess. So extend solar panels, and then also put... How heavy are these? No, not that heavy. Put some... This probably don't need to be. And put some batteries on here. Cool. Alright. Should we put... I feel like we have to put some kind of communications. I mean, we don't have like a relay network. So we're not going to be able to... We're not going to be able to communicate. We won't need to communicate, right? There's nothing we need to... We're not going to have to transmit anything. This isn't a probe mission. So I think we're fine. So electricity and ways to generate it. I think... Actually, no, we need to put docking thrusters on this. Actually, no. Right? We don't need to put docking thrusters on this. Do we? Because this is... Well, because this can do all the docking. This... Yeah, I think that we don't. I think that we're good. I'm probably going to regret that, but... Alright. I know we have enough fuel. I just want to set that back to where it was disable staging. Cool. Alright, I'm going to set 10 to deploy our solar panels on this guy. I'm going to set 9 to deploy our solar panels and open this as well on this guy. Toggle solar panels. Cool. Close doors. Alright, now it is... I think it's time to build... Oh no. Oh no, it's time to build a rocket that can launch 41 tons into orbit. Yay! First off, this is massive. So hold on, how big of the fuel tanks do we have? This is the biggest... Oh, are you kidding me? Do we want to launch this in 2, then? I think we could... What if we launched this in 2 separate parts? So we launched first just the transfer stage and then just the lander. Right, how much does this... So it's 40 tons total, 41 tons. So it's about half and half. So we need to only launch like 20 tons. Do it in 3? I don't think we can really split it 3 ways. I think we should split this in half, because I don't think there's going to be a way that we're going to be able to... Alright, Duna Ike. Let's retitle this to Duna Ike Transfer Stage. And we will pop the lander off for now. And we're gonna build a rocket just to launch this guy for now. Use one of these guys. You don't need Shroud. Alright, also build a fairing around this guy because it's going to be pretty big. 2.5 meters. Nice that we have the larger size now. Bring it up. Up. Should we encase it all the way? We don't have to. We could just kind of close it here. Or bring it here and then close it. Nah, I don't really like that. Actually, let's bring it to there. Bring it in. Bring it in. Oh, what are you... Why are you being funky? Alright, we'll close it there. It's a tall fairing, but it's not that bad. 24 tons to orbit? We can do that, right? Two sides, bring up the ejection force. I don't think I'm going to put flags on these rockets anymore, though. Oh, we're launching both separately? Yes, we're going to launch the transfer stage and then the lander, and we're going to dock them in orbit. So that way the launch, because I don't think we're going to be able to make a launch vehicle enough to launch the 40 tons with the small parts that we have. Sounds hard? It might be, but it's also going to be practice for when we have to dock, I think, like 2 times or 2 or 3 times out at Duna. So all right. Well, let's build the upper stage. Set this back to Kerbal. Okay, so we need... Oh, I'm trying to think here. We need... This thing, no, because this is just going to orbit. So we just need like 3,800 meters a second here between the upper and lower stages. It probably doesn't even have to be that big. We can probably get away with something smaller. I am curious if we're going to need a lot of engine power. Can you stop? Thank you. We're going to need a lot of, like, thrust because of how heavy this is. I wonder how outside with your mods is going to look like. It's actually really nice. Kerbal itself isn't... It's not going to be real. It's not amazing. But, other planets, like, when I went to Minmus, I think that was the second stream we did. You can go back and check that if you want. It was, like, shiny and really, really pretty. That sounds stupid, but trust me, that's what it looked like, and it was pretty cool. Alright, upper stage engines. I'm thinking we'll just use a poodle. That is a poodle. TWR 0.71. What if we brought that down to an altitude of like 25? 0.71. That is problematic. So hold on, how much? We might be able to get more thrust. So the poodle is 250 in the vacuum, and the cheetah is 125. Oh, so we could just do 3 cheetahs, and it would be enough. Most likely. Now that we have the engine plate too, attach notes triple, and we'll put 3 cheetahs on here. Right? Does that fit? That fits, right? Yeah, that fits inside the fairing. Cool. So these guys, TWR of 1.02, about 850 meters a second. It means we need 3,000 in the lower. Actually, we could probably let's add a little bit more. A little bit more fuel. like so. 1182, that's more comfortable. So we need like 3,800 to get to orbit. 3,700, we'll say. Actually, I can probably cut that down a bit. Yeah, 3,700. And then this cuts off, like, that cuts it down to 2,500. So we need 2,500 with the lower stages. Also, I'm going to push you guys up a little bit so it's a little bit shorter. We need... doesn't need to be that low. Medium is too short. Medium short. Wait a minute. Oh, medium long is what I meant. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Put... no, don't want... I want that middle one. Grr. Come on. What if I set it to long and then shortened it? There we go. Okay. Now we get to use big boy engines on the bottom of this. Can we reroute it to the fairing? Right. We're gonna need some big boys. Big thrust, more boosters, yes. Well, hold on. How much thrust do we need? Let me grab a mainsail and see how much that does for us. How much does that? 1,500 or at sea level? It's it's like 1,400. Wait, let me make sure this is staged properly too, so I'm getting the right. So not the nerve. Mainsail will go first, and then the engine plate will pop, and those guys will go off. Then we'll drop the fairing, and then the nerve. No. Those actually can go together. Okay. And then what's that decoupler? Oh, that's the okay. Okay, so that's properly staged. 1.83. That's impressive. That's a lot of thrust. How does that guy look? Gonna have 4 or 2 solid boosters. I don't know. It depends on what we're gonna actually need here. I think so. We have 1183. It's like 1,200. We need 2,500 more meters a second. We have 1,500, so we're gonna need an extra 1,000 down here. I don't want to do the funky thing that we did with the last launch. Do we have the hydraulic? Dude, I don't really want to do the funky thing we did with the last launch vehicle. But yeah, why don't we use some solids? Because I haven't used solids. I don't think since like the very first rocket. That looks pretty cool. Especially if we add our new cool nose cones. We put this down here. 1767 and 965. Why did you go down? Oh. Put these down there. Cool. Alright, so we have 1,250 plus 600 here. That's 1,850. That's 2,850. That brings it to like 23,000. We need more than this. We're gonna need more than this. How are we gonna get more than... We have... Actually, first off, we could probably start by adding a little more liquid. Oops. Long. That's probably gonna help that bit. Actually, how much thrust does that still have? 1.65, plenty. Plenty. 4 of these fellas. And just kind of roughly there to get the numbers. They have 1150 plus 950. Let's see, so 1150 plus 950. Math brain, come on. 1200, 2100, 3100, 3300. Almost there. Can we add... What if we did the big... These ones? I'm curious. What if we just did 2 of them even? Does this thing look like an Ariane 5? 1700 plus 5, so like 500 plus 1700 is 2200? 3400. It's cutting it close still. Is there anything else we can do? The tall booster is a very tall booster. You put that like there? That looks good. Is that centered on it? It's not. And that's gonna bug me. Now it is. I mean, it's a tall rocket in general. Tall rocket needs tall boosters. I feel because we always end up using liquid boosters. And liquid... just more liquids, but that seems like the only way to go here. Alright, so hold on. We have 1737. It says 1750, 1700 plus 500 is 2200 plus another 1200 is 3400. We're not getting anywhere. What if we did? Aha! I'm smart. More liquids. Shorten that a little bit. Okay. If I just put this guy in its own category, or I'm gonna take these off. Actually, if it still has a GWR over 1, 1.5, yeah, that's fine. It ain't struggling under the extra fuel. So all the engines ignite, then detach stage. That's all still good. 3612. It's tight. Do we wanna... So what would happen if we rolled with it like this? And we just use a little bit more... maybe a tiny bit of the nuclear engines. Because I think this can get us into orbit just fine. I'm gonna add some... I think this will work. Did I add RCS to the docking module? So like this one is not gonna have RCS on it. Because the RCS thrusters are on the lander, and as long as we have them on 1, I think we should be able to make it work. I hope. I hope. You know, why don't we put some... We'll have some fun. We'll put some flags on here. Bearing... Okay. Let's put some flags on here. I know I said I wasn't gonna, but you know what? We'll have some fun. We're an hour into the stream and we haven't launched yet, but it's just a big mission. I don't know if we're gonna be able to land. I hope we're gonna land today. I might have to push this stream to be pretty dang long, so we do. But... you know, Alright, so let's see. Let's see. Let's get the flags out. 2.5 meter flag. Already got a better size. Oh, no, I can't put it on here. Come on. I want to put the flag on. I know you want to let me. Oh, well, now it's not. But maybe I won't put flags on if I won't let me. The sign. Expansion. No, no. Okay, there we go. Well, now it just won't go on, and so now I'm getting sad. So I guess we won't. Ooh, that paint job actually looks pretty sharp. Do we want to add some color down here? Sure, why not? When launching, well, we'll design the rocket for the other half, and then we're gonna have to wait for a transfer window to Duna, and I have to look up when that is because I haven't gone interplanetary before. Ooh, let's add fins while I'm here. Sir. Yeah, I'll do these. 1, 2, 5. Yeah, these ones are lighter. It's all about weight savings. Tilt it back a little bit, and we'll tuck them kind of down here. Why not? Sure. Okay. This is our very tall boy rocket. Or a very tall boy payload. It's just tons of tall everywhere. Launch stability. Fellas. Make them look nice. We'll add ones for like fueling, or that look like they're adding fuel. I always like to make my rockets look nice. I suppose. Wait, aren't we launching? We're launching the crew.